Of all the Final Destination movies, the third is by far the one I've seen the most, and to this day, of the original run of films, it's definitely my favorite. Now, story-wise, it's definitely more of the same. You have your inciting incident that someone sees a vision of, followed by all the surviving characters of this accident getting killed off one by one in the order they were supposed to go, with little depth to them otherwise. Now, my preference for this might be the nostalgia talking a bit, but I do think this actually improves upon the one thing that everyone comes to these movies for. While the first film was pretty tame in terms of its characters' violent deaths, each film that's come after has definitely cranked up the intensity, with this being considerably more over the top in some ways. Some sequences might be a bit more drawn out to be even more gruesome, like the tanning salon scene, although there are others played for bits of dark humor, where there's a psych out moment in which you think they're going to be fine, and then when they think the coast is clear, it's where death gets them. It's definitely one of the meanest of all these movies, with the times it makes you think someone's safe, only to turn the tables on them very quickly. On top of the fact, it similarly plays into the second film's version of the prophecies, where the protagonist has ideas of how the deaths will occur, in this instance being pictures taken of them giving context clues as to the setup. It's silly like all the others, but it's still a good time. Though unlike the first two, there's not much of a connection between the previous installments in this, outside of mentioning someone reading about the first film's events. So there's also no Tony Todd here, at least in physical form, but he does a voiceover role both as a train conductor and as a devil statue, tapping in nicely to that sinister Candyman energy. Though I will say, of all the leads in this franchise, Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives one of the more compelling performances as Wendy. I wouldn't say the writing for her character is the most interesting, again, outside of a handful of lines of backstory, everyone here is mostly disposable. But I do think she does elevate some of that surface level writing to give the character a little more gravitas, with her having a closer relationship with some of the other unlucky characters than the previous leads did. So it makes for a slightly better film than the first two movies, both of which I still do like. It might be structurally similar, but it definitely kicks things up a notch to make for a really fun time.